somewhere along the lines, you've made yourself a villain in your own story. Somewhere along the lines, you fabricated this story in which you not only do you blame and demonize yourself for everything that has happened in your past, but you perpetuate the cycle of living from this fictional character that you've created in your own mind. You blame yourself for your childhood traumas. You blame yourself for the fact that you might not have grown up in the best family with the best parents. You blame yourself for the fact that people might have abandoned you in the past. People that you might have loved. Or people have rejected you in the past. Or you might blame yourself for the fact that you've made mistakes and you have wronged people in the past. And you feel as if you have to suffer in order to atone from the mistakes that you've made. Not only this, but you feel unworthy and you feel undeserving of everything good that comes your way. Everything good that comes your way, you feel as if you're not enough for it and you're not enough to have it. And so you sabotage yourself from good opportunities when they come your way. Whenever a job opportunity or a career opportunity or something that you deep down desire comes your way, you don't take the chance and you don't go for it because you feel unworthy. You feel undeserving and you feel as if you're not enough for it. In your mind, you continuously tell yourself that, why would somebody hire or someone be interested in hiring someone like you? Whenever a relationship or, a potential lover comes your way, you sabotage it as well. Right? In your mind, you can't perceive or see the reason why someone would have any interest in you at all. You can't perceive why they would even want to be involved with you romantically. In your mind, you can't see why they would see value in you when you have not seen value in yourself. And so you sabotage everything good that comes your way. And you continue to live from this character that you've created in your own mind and in your own story. But the bright side of this, right, and the good part about this is that this is all a story. This is something that you have created. It doesn't exist objectively. It only exists in your own mind, and you're fighting against yourself in your own mind, and you're living from a character that you have created. And the best thing about stories, right, is that you can change the story. You can change the script. And the only way to change this story or to change the script is by first changing the main character. Changing how you perceive the main character in the story, which means that you have to change how you see yourself. I think we greatly underestimate how much power we have, right? A lot of us feel powerless to our experiences of the past. A lot of us feel powerless in this present moment. We feel as if we are products of the things that happen to us, right? And the reality is that we hold so much more power than we realize. We have so much more power than we can even think. You really think about this, right? We have the power to create or to make ourselves a villain in our own story. And so if we have the power to make ourselves a villain in our own story, don't you think we have the power to also make ourselves the hero? Or to change the way in which we perceive ourselves, change the way in which we perceive ourselves from a negative perspective to a positive perspective. We hold the power. We hold the key to our lives. I believe that every single one of us on this earth is a continuous creator of our own story, right? We are always writing our own story. But I think a lot of us divide ourselves of that power, and we sort of place the power of, we sort of place our power in the things that have happened to us, or in the hands of other people, right? We give away our power to the things that have happened to us, and we allow ourselves to become sort of a product of our experiences, and we choose to continue to be a product of our experiences instead of choosing to see ourselves in a more positive light in this present moment. The reality is that the present moment is all we have. And if the present moment is all we have, why are we still continuing to be stuck on past stories and past episodes? You know, when you watch a movie, or when you're watching a movie or a show, you don't keep rewinding the scene or rewinding the episodes, right? You move forward. You enjoy what you're watching in this moment and you move the story along. But some of us are so stuck on old pages in our own stories. We're so stuck on going back to the things that have happened to us. And I think it's important for us to sort of use the past as reference to who we want to become by simply looking back at the things that have happened to us and learning from those experiences, learning from those things, right? But just because you're learning from those things doesn't mean you have to continue to live from them. It doesn't mean that you have to continue to see yourself in the same way that you were a year ago or 2 years ago. You can choose differently, right? To live a different life, you need to choose a different perspective. If you keep seeing yourself through the same eyes, then your life is going to be the same way. And if you keep choosing to see yourself, in a negative perspective, then how are you going to become someone different? How are you going to grow if you keep living life in regards to the things that have happened to you? How are you going to grow if you continue to see yourself as the villain in your own story? Right? We have to begin to take our power back. We can't allow things of the past to continue to define us. You can't allow the people of the past to sort of continue to live in your mind endlessly. A lot of us walk around and we have the people of our past that might have done us wrong in our minds, continuously. Right? We continuously, think about them and, demonize ourselves, demonize them. We carry hatred, we carry resentment, we carry anger towards them. And how can you grow? How can you heal if you have not forgiven yourself and forgiven them? One of the most important steps in healing is to forgive. And to forgive doesn't mean you sort of, forget about everything that has happened. Forgiveness is simply acceptance of the past and understanding that whatever has happened, and you can't change it. But you have the power to choose who you want to be, and you have the power to choose the story that you want to tell yourself in this present moment. The present moment is all we have. And if the present moment is all we have, why keep living it in reference to the things of our past? Why keep allowing ourselves to suffer? Right? Most of us some of us have become so addicted to pain. Right? We've created this story in which we are victims and we are villains. And in a really sick and masochistic way, we've become addicted to the story, right? We've become addicted to the pain. We've allowed the story of our past and the things of our past to sort of become an extension of who we are. And so we believe that if we were to let go of this narrative that we've continued to tell ourselves, right, we don't truly know who we would become. We don't really know ourselves outside of our pain, outside of our trauma, right? Outside of our hurt, outside of our anger. We don't know ourselves outside of these negative narratives that we've told ourselves. But I'm here to tell you guys that you can choose differently. And the the pain that you're feeling in this moment, right? You can drop it. You can create a different story. Joy is on the other side of the things that you are afraid of letting go. You can experience this joy, right? Or you can experience joy, if you continue to be stuck on old stories. It's like you keep poking yourself with the same knife over and over again, and you expect to not feel pain. Isn't that ridiculous? You keep living from the same narratives that you continue to tell yourself, and you expect to be at peace. Right? How is that going to happen? You have to change the script. You have to change the story that you keep telling yourself. You can't keep, making yourself a villain. No one can come into your life and change that script. You have to be the one that changes it. Everyone is responsible for their own story. And so if you're looking for someone to come into your life and save you, then you're going to be searching forever. Right? And you're going to go to your grave unhappy. You're going to go to your grave and you completely miss out on truly living life. You have to be your own savior. You have to take matters into your own hands. You have to rewrite your own script. Take your power back. You're not a villain. You're not a victim. You're not a bad guy. You're none of the things that you continue to tell yourself. Who you are goes way beyond that. Who we are go way beyond the labels that we tell ourselves or the labels that we place on ourselves. We are powerful. Right? We are so much more powerful than we realize. But it all starts with us. And in order to live the life that you want to live, you have to see yourself differently. And you have to rewrite the story that you continue to tell yourself. Right? Take your power back. You have a choice. You're not powerless. So that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching once again. Thank you for even clicking on this video. And I really hope you begin to see that you're not a villain. You're not a victim. You're none of the things that you continue to tell yourself. The only thing wrong with you, like I always say, is that you believe something is wrong with you. And this story that you've created, you can't change it. You can't choose to be different. But it is a choice that you have to make, and no one can make it for you because no one is living your story. You're the one responsible. And so once you begin to see that you hold the power, you hold the key, then you can begin to unlock all the abundance and all the things that you want to flow into your life by choosing differently. Peace and blessings.